Hey everyone, I'm Lisa Copeland. It's nice to see you. We're going to be talking about a really important topic, and that is about being addicted to a man that you may have broken up with. And it's a really painful thing. If you've ever had it happen, you know that. So let's talk about what that addiction actually means. So, for me, I had it happen to me, and you can become addicted to a man, and you can become addicted to a friendship. Usually, it's a really tumultuous relationship, and that is a problem. And I'm going to share that with you. So, back in my 40s, I actually thought I loved a man who turned out to be so wrong for me. He would look at me with these amazing gaga eyes, and I felt like, oh my God, I've never had this before. Someone look at me this way. And I knew it was wrong for me, but I couldn't get over that adoration. And so we ended up being in a relationship for 2.5 years. And during that 2.5 years, we broke up at least 3 times. And what would happen is when we broke up, there would be such an intense longing for the other person. It was like, I can't begin to tell you this, how strong it is because you're so connected. And it's that tumultuousness in the past that oftentimes kept you so connected. So we would come back together. We'd be so happy to be back together. It was like a honeymoon. And the sad thing is it wouldn't take too long for the problems that created the breakup to just come back again. So finally, after 2.5 years, I said, I can't do this anymore. We're done. And I had known a long time we didn't belong together, but I was so unprepared for how hard it would be to let go of him. And that is even though I was the one that chose to end this relationship, I would constantly feel so connected to him because every time I thought about him, my body was releasing oxytocin. That is the bonding hormone that keeps you physically addicted to somebody. And I will tell you, it took me almost a year for this hormonal disconnect. It was rough. And that's why I want to share with you today in our Facebook Live how to deal with this and what to do if you are addicted to a man because it's intense and it is really hard to break it off. But you can do it. I did it. You can do it. All right. So there's 5 signs that help you know if you are addicted to a man. The first sign is oxytocin creates a high that can be mistaken for love. And this was very true in my second marriage. We had such intense chemistry from the second we met. And it was actually just that bonding hormone releasing over and over and over and over again. And the problem with an oxytocin high is that you, when you bond with a man, you can stay bonded up to 2 weeks. A man might stay bonded for just 3 minutes. Nah, we'll give him 30. So he can stay bonded for about 30 minutes. And what happens is because you're releasing this hormone, thinking of him, that's why it stays there for so long. Whereas men can become very single focused and they're not thinking about how they made love with you just then. They've moved on to business or sports or whatever it is. Whereas we're in our head replaying it over and over again with that oxytocin being released. So, oxytocin in the wrong relationship can make you feel in love. And when it's released, it is like a high because when it's released, it's like you get that same kind of, because you feel connected again to him and you long for him again. And it feels good. But the oxytocin's really playing games with your head, especially when you've broken up and wanted to disconnect. So the second step that you want to take is you want to ask yourself what you really love about a man that you feel so such an intense connection with. And the man I shared the story with you about, who I loved so much, I did love him, but we were so different that even my friends would say, "Why are you with him? He is so not like you. He doesn't have the same lifestyle as you. What are you doing?" But the relationship felt so good because of that oxytocin being released all the time when I was around him. And one of the most important things that will help you is you want to share similar values with a man and you want to feel emotionally safe. And we were breaking up constantly. So I was never that safe emotionally. And we also did not share similar values. So, one of the things that I teach women all the time that I work with in my group, when we create that quality man template, we really examine the values that are important to you. Because if you break through those values, you're going to have a disconnect with him and it will just leave that oxytocin high happening over and over again. The third step is you want to ask yourself what you don't love about him. He and I kept breaking up for a reason, and that was because we had very little in common. And he actually had a deal breaker. He was a smoker, and I can't tolerate the smell of smoke. And he would go outside my garage and put this little hoodie on and smoke away, come in, get rid of the hoodie, wash his face, and do all this stuff because he was trying to change for me. And if a guy tries to change for you, it's never going to hold. A guy needs to change for himself. And also, I wasn't honoring my deal breaker. And when you don't honor your deal breakers, you're actually settling. Okay, the fourth sign is ask yourself if what he brings to the table is enough for the type of relationship that you want to create with him. See if there's more than just that constant oxytocin getting released. Because I know in this relationship I was in, it got to a point where just about anything he did was totally irritating. It wasn't solvable. It was annoying. And that was because we did not have that value connection. We just didn't have the same values. And so there wasn't enough there to sustain it beyond that strong hormonal connection from oxytocin. So what can you do to overcome addiction? I promise you the longing will come back if you're addicted to a man, but you'll also feel a sense of freedom from not being in a relationship that isn't working. The problem is an oxytocin addiction can stay with you for years. And to break it, the first thing you have to do is to recognize it and then to acknowledge it. Then what you want to do is you really want to stop all contact with him. Take him out of your phone, take him out of your email, take him off Facebook if you're connected that way, or LinkedIn, or any social media. Take any pictures out of your phone that you have of him, because otherwise the addiction starts all over again. Because you'll look at his picture and boom, there you are, addicted to him again. Stop all contact. That's really important. Also, this is a time to be really kind to yourself, especially when you're frustrated because the addiction isn't ending fast enough. Like I said, it took a year for me to stop feeling feelings about this man. It took a lot of stopping thinking about him. So when you think about him, when I would think about him, what I would have to say is stop. And I would just imagine a big old red stop sign appearing right in front of me. And that would help. And I had to do it again and again. And there were some days I probably did it 100 times. But you have to stop the release from happening of the hormone coming through. Be really kind to yourself when you're in an addiction. Really nurture yourself. Take care of yourself. Find friends. Plan activities and go do things. Go online and play games, find friends, go out to dinner. You might be able to start dating again. I know I waited because I felt I was still too connected to him, and I think it's important. But you'll know when the time is right to start dating again. And just find some friends to really hang out with. Ask all your married friends, who do you know that I can hang out with, as I said, who's single? Get busy. And I want to tell you, this addiction happens to normal people. I mean, I have had clients tell me again and again the same story that I went through. It's really tough. But the key is to identify the 5 steps that I just shared with you, and you can get through it. So I just want to end this by saying that this is something I help women with all the time. One of the things is I've gone through everything with dating. You cannot imagine. I mean, I've done it and been there. And that's why I love really, really helping women come to a place of healing their hearts, feeling love for themselves again, love for men. That's so important if you want to find the right man, to have good love for a man. And then a love for the relationship you want to create. It's so, so important. And what I do is, if you need more help, if you're struggling, you don't have to struggle, and you don't have to take 10 years to figure things out like I did when I did all these crazy mistakes. I went to Australia to meet a guy. I got addicted to a guy. I met the wrong men all the time. You don't have to do this. You can make dating fun and joyful. And if you would like to do that, I would love to help you. So what I do, if you're ready to change your life, is I offer a complimentary session, and we'll take a look at what's been working in your love life, what hasn't, and we'll get you focused on what you need to find the right man. And that's a huge step. I'm going to put a link here so you can apply for one of these sessions. It's findaqualityman.com/apply, because I really want to help you feel empowered in the dating world. I want to help you feel like you can have fun, and I want you to go out with confidence and not have to make these same crazy mistakes that I made. All right, have a wonderful, wonderful day. I hope this was helpful to you. Feel free to comment below, and I'm sending you lots of love and hugs. Bye-bye.